wanted to be trained in the NCCER curriculum, and so we got that started. We're going to do it again this next summer at our teacher train, our professional development activity, and those are the kind of things that I like to see happen. And then I also want to give these young people, and I start talking about age 16, I want them to walk away from our institutions with a true, what we call an industry recognized credential. And for us, I want something in their hand that you as industry can recognize. Not just a high school diploma, not just a career tech certificate, but something that you recognize. And so what I've been working with is over the last few years, our Department of Education has started giving what we call MCCER 5 points. MCCER 5 is our accreditation process where if you're a principal and you're going for, to be fully accredited in our state, then you've got to have all these things in place. And one of those is every student that gets a credential is a point towards you being successful. And that has driven a lot of change in our state. It has helped me encourage teachers to get better credentials. It's helped me encourage teachers to look at their curriculum and make sure that that curriculum matches the industry recognized credentials which we have approved for NCCER. So I've been using that credential as a carrot, that MCCER 5 points as the carrot, because I don't have a very big stick. I wish I did. I go out and visit sometimes and teachers all act scared like I've got this big stick or something. I don't have it. I'm fairly low on the totem pole. But it's amazing what they'll do for 1 point. Their principals will breathe down their neck because in our world of education, you don't want your school's name in the picture and name in the paper as unaccredited. That is not fun as a principal. So it's been good for our state. It's moving along. We've also recently passed legislation. Did you guys all realize at this point in time that career tech ed is hot? Okay, have you noticed that? Bless their hearts, those people on the Hill just want to pass laws left and right for us last year. And I had to testify a couple of times because, they're trying, but some of that we already had in place. It's almost like, don't help us. But it's a hot item. And so we were able to get some legislation passed to where if you start an apprenticeship in your program, you can get 2 points. And that really got me excited out there in the field. It doesn't sound like much, but it works out well when you're looking at accreditation. So we're getting legislation in pass that is driving real change in our career tech programs that I think is important. We cannot do this alone. The skills gap that we have currently in Missouri, I cannot fix. My teachers cannot fix. I have 57 area career centers, technical schools, at the high school level in the state of Missouri. I don't think they're going to give me any more money for any more, okay? That's what I've got. And I can add a program here or there, but generally speaking, that's what I've got. And so we've got to have other partners working with us. Industry, you guys are crucial. And, you may be aware that we have advisory groups with every single program. But even more important than just advising, make those relationships. The young man that was just visiting, make those relationships with your school. The old days where you can sit back and the kids will come with a high school diploma and be ready to go is gone. I'm sorry, okay? What you need is not there. If you haven't looked at it yet, the Pathways to Prosperity research out of Harvard. It hit within the last few years here. It's a hot item still. In that study, they show you that the 18 to 25-year-olds are not getting employed. They're not getting employed. Matter of fact, people my age are taking McDonald's jobs, or people at 30 years old are taking McDonald's jobs because they got a 4-year degree and they can't do anything with that wonderful, what are we talking about, not sociology, but what am I picking? Philosophy. Love philosophy. I love to talk, so I'll philosophize with you any day. But I don't get paid to do that. So, it's funny, we just got a new, and I'm diverging a little bit, and she'll start putting her hand up here pretty quick. But got a new assistant commissioner in. Great guy, past superintendent. and he's doing what he's supposed to do. He comes around to each one of us, you know, as a leader, and what do you like? Well, one of his questions I really liked was, what does college and career readiness, that's the name of our department, by the way, mean to you? So I look at him and I said, well, actually I think we got the name all wrong. We should be the Office of Career Readiness, if you want college kind of in parentheses behind that. And we got a good laugh about that, but it's true. We're all in the business of career readiness. We have to get away from the 19th century idea that everybody gets the, you know, the same education at each step of the way, and there's no individualized chance for students to take career tech ed classes. We have to see the value of making our programs, our educational program, fit the goals of the student. You know, if you're a student, you come to my program, you want to be an engineer, I'm going to look you in the eye and say, okay, you love math, right? And if you tell me you don't love math, okay, then we're going to have a talk. Because I don't think you're going to be successful. And if you say you want to be an engineer, you're going to take every math I've got to offer, okay? But if you want to be in construction trades and you tell me you can't come to my construction trades program, we've got an issue. You know, and of course that's some DESE, but it's also some legislative that has to be done. And we can't do that, folks, without your industry partners to make these changes. I can't go to the Hill and say, ooh, I want to wave my magic wand and allow these students more flexibility. You have to be involved in that. They did last year. We do have a situation now where a local school district can waive some of these credits and allow a student that wants to come as a junior to our program to maybe waive one class of language arts because we do quite a bit of writing in our technical programs. It's just a little different than you know, some of the writing they want to do in the primary language arts area. So we need these partners. You partner up with you. We're partnering up with Project Lead the Way. Anybody got Project Lead the Way blowing up in your state? A few of us? Okay. It's a pre-engineering program. I can say that in my state anyway because I know the director. We're good friends. And we're getting ready to put together a memorandum of understanding between our two programs that, you know, if you've got a student, freshman and sophomore Project Lead the Way, and then they're just not really feeling this whole engineering thing, okay? Bring them into construction trades. You've already showed them a little bit of what a lab's like. You've got them some good basic training. We'll take them, no problem. So I think we can work together. I don't think we're competitive at any way, and we can be stronger together. Apprenticeships. I had an epiphany within the last month, really. You know, you talk about reaching out, and I'm new, so I just called the director of apprenticeship for the state of Missouri and wanted to know a little more about apprenticeships because I've been doing the reading. And we got to talking about apprenticeships because I don't know if you kept up on the federal legislation with the new WIO Act. Workforce development is going crazy. I sat in on a meeting a couple weeks ago for workforce development. They're doing what they call sector partnerships in our state. We call it pathways. Ooh, kind of fits, you know. I show up to the meeting and you'd have thought I thought I was a celebrity. So, oh yeah, you're from DESE? You guys actually come to these things? Awesome. Yeah, we do. And we'll continue to do so because I can see some strong partnerships there with workforce development. And along with that, I got to talking about apprenticeships, you know, and they've been around forever. They're you know, they've got all their T's crossed, their I's dotted. And my question to the state director, we had talking, I said, why don't we ever do this at a younger age? And he said, I don't know. I said, I've got 57 career centers in the state of Missouri. Can I do an apprenticeship starting at age 16? He said, yeah, no problem. I said, it's legal and everything. Oh, yeah. So we had our first few meetings this last month, and we brought together workforce development, brought together my staff, and met with the director of the Career Center. We're looking at, for lack of a better term right now, what I call a community apprenticeship. We're going to have basic apprenticeship that addresses those things that kind of is the base for all the apprenticeships. Ooh. all the types of apprenticeships that are out there. You know, we talk about showing up to work on time. We talk about some of these soft skills. We can definitely do a great job with that. And in my state, I give out about $600,000 worth of equipment, 50-50 match every year to all my trade tech programs. So sometimes my career center is sitting there with better equipment than you may have on the work site. Use us. If your apprenticeship takes 4,000 hours to get done, why don't you let us give the first 1,000 hours at the high school level? Now, what I need from industry, though, and I'm working on it in my state, we've got to get over this fear of bringing a 16-year-old into an area. We have to get around that somehow. And I know there's insurance issues and those kind of things. But folks, I see 16-year-olds overhauling diesel engines in a lab situation, and I've got one teacher with 15 kids. And you're telling me in an apprenticeship operation where I'm going to have a one-on-one matchup that your insurance will let you have that person around? Come on. We've got to think outside the box. Okay? Plus, don't you want to influence that young person for those 2 critical years? They make some goofy mistakes when they get their first job because they've never been an employee, folks. They've never clocked in. They've never had the supervisor come up and maybe kind of harshly criticize what they're doing. They don't know how that works. So we have to build these partnerships, and so that's what I'm going to try in the state of Missouri, bring the apprenticeship down to the career center level. We're going to start off in Lebanon, Missouri with one in manufacturing. We've got an excellent CNC manufacturing program already at the high school level. We've got an excellent welding program. We pull those 2 together. Everybody signs off the agreement. A student will graduate with a high school diploma, and then a year later, they'll graduate with a Department of Labor credential apprentice. Now, it's only going to be as good, of course, as what we turn out. But if we can get the right industry partners together with what we're doing, it's going to be awesome. So that's some of the maybe a little different things, and I'm done. Yes, I am. She just told me I am. I'll be around. Love to talk about this stuff and visit with you more later. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks to NCCER for everything they're doing for us in the state of Missouri, and look forward to seeing you all around the rest of the conference.